Hello Channel NITT viewers, I am DS, a psychologist, and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. So an ENTJ and an INTP MBTI YouTuber may produce the same content, but the thought process can be actually very different. As an ENTJ, I tend to want to make videos based on my observations of the surrounding. What do I mean by that? So I observe the people around me, and from there I get inspiration what to do for my next topic. However, an INTP is likely to think of a topic first, then find evidence from the outside. So of course I can also do that because a lot of times viewers have given me ideas what to do. So I take your idea and I try to do a topic on it. But this is more of an INTP way of doing things. So an ENTJ actually prefers to make observations, think about this observation, draw a parallel and draw relationships, and eventually find something interesting to talk about based on the observations. So in today's video, I am going to talk about an observation that I have made. And what is this observation? Across the board, ENTJs may tend to have the same body type. So most people would be aware that there are three basic body types: the mesomorph, endomorph, and the ectomorph. So just to give a brief introduction, the endomorph is a body type that tends to get fat easily. The mesomorph is the body type where they can get fat, however, they can also slim down very quickly. So while they can gain weight fast, they also can lose weight fast. Then we have the ectomorph. The ectomorph is usually tall and slender. No matter how much they eat, they won't grow fat. So I've done some research on the ENTJ. I looked at well-known ENTJs, and I find that many of the ENTJs that are famous appear to be ectomorphs. So the ENTJ is usually reasonably tall, especially the male ones. Even for ENTJ females, they tend to be on the slim side. So when I was a younger ENTJ, many people would call me lanky. But now I feel that I'm the right size, even though many people will call me thin. So I have also looked at the internet images of many other ENTJs. I find that there are a lot of slim ENTJs around. Is this a coincidence? No. I think in terms of evolution, it does make sense for the ENTJ to be an ectomorph. Why? Anyway, before I come to that answer, I also found something interesting. ESTJs that I know also tend to be thin, tall, and slender. Thin and slender got difference? No. So ESTJ and ENTJ alike tend to be taller than usual, and they are also tending to be on the slim side.
iPhone 11 Pro weighs only 188 grams.
The common trait between ENTJs and ESTJs are that they are both TE dominants. So does being TE dominant make people slim? Possibly. Why? Because I would assume that TE doms tend to think a lot. So the brain is the organ that consumes 20% of the food that we eat. So it is the highest consumer of sugar. So during times when we're having exam, we will really find that we like to eat a lot of chocolates and binge on a lot of carbohydrates. Why? Because when the brain is working, it really needs a lot of energy. It needs a lot of food. So one of the simplest hypotheses why the TE DOMs, the ENTJs and the ESTJs remain thin is that the brain consumes most of the energy that they eat. So it doesn't get stocked up as fats. The TI users also think a lot, right? But why the TI users don't tend to be ectomorphs? So when I'm on the phone, I need to walk around. When I am thinking in class, I need to walk around. If I am seated, if I am sedentary, I couldn't think properly. I really need to move about, and this burns the extra calories. So I have asked around, I found that TE DOMs really need to move about. When they are on the phone, when they are talking, when they are thinking, they like to pace up and down. So compared to the TI users, this does help to keep us slim. Still not convinced yet? There is a second hypothesis. This is the evolutionary hypothesis. If ESTJs and ENTJs are born to be leaders, then it makes sense for them to be ectomorphs. Research has found that people tend to think that people who are tall must be leaders. So generally across all cultures, teachers are more likely to select the taller student to be the monitor or the monitress. People like to associate leadership with being tall. They are short leaders, of course, but they are just exceptions. And besides being tall, you must be slim, because a tall and slim person looks more reliable. What do I mean by that? Look at all the politicians. Most of the politicians that we know, especially those in Singapore, they are usually on the slim side. Would you trust a fat one? Would you trust that they have self-control? No, right? Well, this might sound a little bit crude, but it is true. People tend to believe that a thinner person has more self-control. So a person who is thin is also better to restrain themselves. This is maybe an image or an illusion, but many people would believe that. When given pictures to choose, asking them who is the leader, they tend to choose the tall and slim one. So TE is a trait that is really suited for leadership because the TE user is able to think of the big picture. So who else is better to be a leader than the TE user? Of course, the ESTJs and the ENTJs. So evolutionarily, it does make sense for the ESTJs and the ENTJs to be ectomorphs. Of course, not all ENTJs and ESTJs are going to be the tall and slim type. However, if we are able to draw a correlation of 0.3 or better, then this is actually a good predictor. So by looking at a person's body image, we can really predict the person's MBTI type. So visually, it gives us more of an indicator. Of course, we still need to profile the person based on the cognitive stacks. In the next episode that I'm going to do, I am going to talk about the other MBTI types and the body shapes and types that I've observed in them. So there are a lot of fellow ENTJs watching this channel. I've never seen you before, so I do not know how you look like. So would you be able to tell me your body shape and whether you are tall and slim, regardless of whether you are male or female? So my hypothesis is that ENTJs tend to be ectomorphs, and ectomorph is a body type that does not get fat easily. So personally, I can really eat. A lot of people joke, they say that all the remaining food can give to DS. Because I can consume and finish them all. So fellow ENTJs, are you big eaters as well? Comment below and tell me. Okay, I hope that you have found this episode interesting. If you have not subscribed, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more ENTJ and fun stuff. And of course, thank you to our existing viewers for supporting us this far. Okay, I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you in my next episode. Goodbye!